Hi guys, good evening. Give me 1 second. I'm just sharing the link and then I'll be ready. Stop share and then share the entire screen. Good. I've shared the link. Let me open the chat. Hi, good evening, guys. Good evening. Hi, Gazula. Hi, Vasudha. Hi, Jeremy. Yep, Jeremy. Thank you very much. Hi, Krish. Hi, Shri. Hi, Srini. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Ike. So finally, we had a good, clean downside move. It was long awaited, but finally it came. Hi, Mr. Devinder. Hi, Mr. Kamal. Hi, Fagun. Good evening, everyone. I hope it was a good day for all of you today. Uh, like in our community, we went short on coin and Nvidia. Both worked really well. Again, I'm sticking to my small gain theory. Every day I'm looking to add small gains and then closing it. I'm not looking for big boosters. Small and steady wins the race. That's the thing I'm following right now. Hi Mitos. Hi Srinath. Good evening, guys. You're able to see my screen and hear me loud and clear. Can you confirm, please? Because I think I'm getting some issues from Zoom. So if anybody can confirm that. Jackie, that's good to know. Like we are all here to learn, Jackie. So if you get to learn, then that's really awesome. I'm just trying to reset my YouTube chat. Okay, good. So guys, tomorrow we have some big important numbers. So any technical analysis which I do tonight will not be practical or will make any sense whatsoever. So we'll talk about the indexes tonight. We'll talk about where we can head. Plus, I'll give you some idea of what happened in the market today. So I'll start first. Let me just welcome all of you who every day come and spend their time on this daily analysis. I hope this is fruitful to all of you who participate. Thank you for joining me. So today morning, we had the news from Silver Valley Bank. Now, Silver Valley Bank was a bank which sold some share to raise the money. Plus, they were selling their assets, the bonds. And why they had to sell their bonds? Because the amount of loans they were expecting, they were on a serious decline. So as a result, they have to offset that by selling their assets and raising the money. Same thing they did, also sell their shares to raise the money. Now, why this is important and why all the banks in went down? This is really important because I believe and I think that this bank has a total asset of around 200 to 250 billion dollars. And if a bank that size goes down, then that's a big trouble. Like just imagine Lehman was only $175 billion bank, which went down. So this is 200 to 250 billion dollar bank. Plus, it changes the sentiment of the entire market. It's kind of like it may not be elephant in the room, but it's something in the room which is actually causing the big banks to trouble. Yes, Federal Reserve has done all those risks tests, but there's always a new scenario which we are not aware of, which may not be covered in all those Dodd-Frank risks tests. So possibly nobody was anticipating a rate hike or rate regime like this, which is going to go higher and higher. So there may be some government intervention here. or Fed intervention here to provide some relief to the bank so that it can pursue its business properly. But it's a very big red flag to all the banks, and this is not a small news. And if there were no payroll numbers tomorrow, I think we would have been down almost 2% by now in the after hours. Just because there are payroll numbers expectation, market is waiting to see if they can actually bounce. If the numbers are bad, it will be like a double-edged sword. First, we are negative with the sentiment of SVW. Plus, there was a crypto issue which was going on with the Silvergate. Silvergate issue is totally different than SVB issue. Keep that in mind. All right. So Silvergate is kind of going out of the business because of their crypto investments, and they're not able to reinstate or regain anything out of that. SVB is going out because of the numerous hike by Fed against the loans, and that's exactly what is going to happen with the other banks. If you see in the news recently, all the big banks they're cleaning up their mortgage uh, teams because they are not getting any loans whatsoever. People are still saying the brokers will reach out to you that yes, there is an exceptional demand for the houses, but there is not. Why? Because the market applications are not there. You will not be able to buy a house with your cash. And all these brokers, what they try to do is they try to make a fool out of you. So they are trying to tell that there is a ample shortage in the market. There's no inventory. And every single house is like the 10, 20, 30 bedrooms, but that's not the case. Believe me, that's not the case. We are at a 30-year down level on the mortgage loan applications. All these banks are not idiots who are just firing upside down their entire portfolios on the mortgage side. So if you get enticed, or if uh, ignore my grammar, if you get enticed by these things, you should wait. You will have good time coming to buy the houses. All right. So all on all, the impact of SVB will be really hard. If it fails, it's gonna seriously do something which will not be liked by the market at all. Hi Deepak, hi Shamat, hi TJ, hi Satya. So guys, let's start the NFP numbers. I didn't want to do a complete session in SVB, but I just wanted to brief you what happened so that you all know why it is so important and what could be an impact of it. The amount of money which is involved here is not small money. It's a serious money. So the impact of this is going to be there. Don't go by the market capital of that company. Go by the asset is holding. Now let's go to the NFP numbers. NFP numbers last time. Come on, man. Put down. NFP numbers last time was a very big surprise. The expectation was 185 and it came out to be 517. Now, I really don't know how come it came to 517 because I did not went into the details of what are those numbers. But tomorrow, 8:30, I think we should be in the vicinity of higher than 205. Like, I will not say too higher, but in the vicinity, like 225, 240, 250. Anything above that number will not be liked by the market at all. Market needs to control and understand the emotions, because right now, until this news today, in the morning, market was 40-20, and they was currently ignoring the yesterday's number and the statements from Fed regarding the higher interest rates, and they were ignoring every economical uh, data point. Plus, they were ignoring the Ukraine-Russia war is getting intensifying, and they were just going up and up and up. Market only needed one trigger, and I will come to that one single point, which I've shared to you all in last couple of days, is the ADX. Now let's go to ADX. You see, the strength was not there. The strength on ADX was not there. Since we broke down from here and we went up, there was no strength in that up move. Now, with the negative momentum, the strength is coming back. This is not good for the market. That's why ADX is really, really good to know. See, whenever we were going down, the ADX was not that so hard. But today it came back. The negative momentum also went up. So keep an eye on ADX and DMIs. It gives you a kind of idea where the market is heading. Now, coming back to the three scenarios, let me just draw them. And so expectation is 205. Plus, I do not know whether there's going to be a revision to last 517 number or not on the payroll, non-farmers payroll. So this is services sector, this is manufacturing sector, this is outside of agriculture. This is going to be really, really important. Now, this sector has actually got hit, but that's why market is waiting. So there could be scenarios where we are in 225K and above or above. What it means the market is resilient, the job market is super, and the economy is holding strong. It means that inflation on wages will be higher. Like there are a couple of other data points which are also coming. Average wage hours per pay segment. Like I do not know. Let me open that. But let me finish this one first, and then we'll go to the other data points. So 205 is the expectation. 205 or above, it will be not liked by the market. Anything 205, market will like it. Less than 205, you may even see 4,000 tomorrow. Market, now, what is the probability of happening this? For me, probability of happening 225K or above is about 50%. 205 or K, it's about 30%. And less than 205 is about 20%. Because I still think that the number of, like you see, the number of job openings were like 10.8 million. Expectations were 10.5. There's still ample demand in the market. And ample demand is filled by something. So there will be services, there will be jobs which are going to be created. So I don't think so we are going to see this number less than 205. But if it comes, then it will try to offset that SBW news, SBB news. But if we have this one, then it's kind of a double sword. We have a negative news, plus we have a higher NFP payroll. So keep an eye on this. This is a combination, it's a double disaster, 50%. It's not easy to cook things, TJ. It's a perception that they do all this shit, but no, that's not the case. So few more numbers which are coming tomorrow are unemployment rate will be fine. This is the other important number, which is average hourly earnings. If it comes down and the non-payroll, non-private, non-farm payroll comes higher, then it kind of offset each other because the wage inflation is going down. But if the wage inflation is higher, which expect is to be 4.7, then this is again adding fuel to the fire. it should come less, so that even if they're higher numbers, it can offset and give a positive momentum. What we need to see from all this is that the wage inflation should come down. The number of new jobs should, even if they are higher, we can digest it, but the wage inflation should reduce somehow. Because wage inflation, if you get higher salaries, you will have ability to pay higher for the prices. If you can pay higher for the prices, prices are not going to come down. All right. So this is really, really important tomorrow. Any technical analysis tonight will not work. So we'll not go into any of the individual stocks. What we will do is we will talk about the index, both ES and NQ, and see what are the possible setups which are happening on them. All right. And if I get some time tomorrow, during the daytime, I'll do a live call and then see uh, if I have to share any chart or something. Uh, Sridhar, we'll see if I can make an estimate on that. So let's come to ES now. So ES, first thing first, uh, as I said last time, the loss of this trend line will be bad. This trend line, the dotted trend line going up. This is bad. We were hovering in this range and finally we broke down. And 39.95 was a very good base. And I've mentioned multiple times in my uh, sheet that yes, it's going to be really, really tough for the market to break it. But once broken, you can see a clear down move all the way to 39.15. We tested 39.15 and now we are well below that area. There is no stopping. There is no support at all. If we lose this tomorrow, if we are not able to reclaim 39.15, I will not be surprised if we can hit 3,800 by the end of the day tomorrow. Uh, Migi, I can do Twitter space, yes, but people don't like to listen to me. So I don't know. Plus, I need more people to participate. It's not me who can do this every time. I need somebody to help me out. Okay, coming back here. So this is a rejection from 50%. And then this 13 and 15 is a very, very important 61.8% Fibonacci. 61.8% Fibonacci is the level where things get serious. We have lost that. We have lost the trend line. We have lost the channel which we were holding since the last down move from 3,500. Now this gets serious. Market needed a trigger. We got the trigger and we clearly sold off. The trend is negative because the 34 EMA is lagging, leading the 12 EMA. So price is telling that yes, we are in the downside. Now 13 and 15, important support. We lost it. If we lost it, we can hit 3,800. There will be no support in between whatsoever. There was a massive consolidation which happened here. So this bracket is totally supportless. The only support comes at 78.6, which is 3,800. So be mindful. If we lose 39.15 right now, it's after hours, so we're already down. But as I said, tomorrow numbers are really, really important in context of the current market situation. So if somehow we manage and we put a fake breakdown, meaning like right now we are at 38.91, we may come down at 38.80 and then bounce back. Look for a reclaim of 39.15. If you can reclaim 39.15, give yourself 5-10 points and see if market can go up to 39.25 and then go long. At that time, it will make much more sense, because if you try to catch something here at 38.90, 38.80, you will only lose. The possibility of getting them into the positive side is really, really low because there is no support. You will only try to catch a falling knife. But if you get a fake breakdown and then you reclaim this important area, give yourself 10 points and then try to go long. So that's the whole idea for tomorrow. 39.25 if you want to go long. If you want to short, uh, you will have every single opportunity to short. The market is so fundamentally oversized at this time. Like even Bank of Japan, which was the main reason, and Bank of China, which were the two main reasons since 3500 that we have not looked back and we ignored every single economic data. Now they're also saying that yes, the inflationary measures of this QE, which is quantitative easing, meaning the Bank of Japan is providing stimulus money into the economy, is creating inflationary measures, inflationary reasons. So I don't think so that's gonna be any add-on to the positive side as well. They may also start to slow down the stimulus or something. ECB should do it. So all in all, the market is in a very difficult state. We may go down to 3800. Once we lose 3800, things will become really ugly. I still expect 3397, which I've said multiple times, the pre-COVID high. If we can hit that, that I will mark as a bottom, uh, like 2%, 3% here and there. But that's the bottom area for me. Now, in case of NQ, and guys, I can do one thing. I can share the Zoom link right away with all of you so that if you want to talk, if you want to have any clarity, you can join the call and discuss. Let me share the Zoom link. You can come and you can join the call. And we can discuss, we can clarify, we can talk about more points if you want. And I can address any specific questions. So I've shared the Zoom link. Let me share. Yep. So let's go to NQ. NQ also lost an important support area, 12,000. Similarly to 3915, NQ is also down 11,952. And you can see that there is no support until 11,650. We went directly up. The support which we had was 11,950. If you go back to the sheet from yesterday, we looked at 11,950. So this was the support and we achieved that support today. Same thing was here, 3915, we did that. On the downside, we had 290-ish area, we almost hit that. So we are at a very critical area on NQ. NQ today did not fall much because Apple and Microsoft were trying to hold throughout the day, but in the end, they also gave up. Tesla, everybody was saying from 215 that yes, it can go higher and higher, 300, 400, where it is, 170. So it just went higher because of some event and people just sold that into that event and that's it. Nothing really cleared. Okay, so coming back to NQ. Now tomorrow, if the numbers are hot, as I said, 225 and above, and if we lose 1100, 930, to be very precise, look for 11,650. There's no support in between. If we somehow recapture similar to 12,015, give yourself 30, 40 points. Let it go to 1250, 12,050, and then try a long. And your long will not be a big long like 12,150 and 12,300. I'll type all this on my Twitter with the scenarios, and then you can make a meaningful reference there. Shravan, I'm not going to cover Tesla puts today. I already did that. I was expecting 161, 176. So we did break 176. Next is 161. So please look at the levels. The only like I have one feedback for all of you. People, not all of you, but majority people like do not even bother to look at the sheet for the levels. They will ask the same questions without even referring there. So what's the point of making that sheet? The sheet is there. The levels do not change on a daily basis. So levels are there. Go refer and make a trade out of yourself. People will say, "Oh, I missed out on this." The question is, the levels were discussed last night. You may able to pick up one ticker, observe it, and then use the levels to make a trade. That's it. Nobody's asking you to make a trade, which I'm doing. Nobody's asking you to follow somebody. It's the information right in front of you. If you missed it, that's fine. There's always a next trade, next day, next week, next month. But try to use the information which is there. Okay. So from NQ level 11,650 to 12,300, my take is unless and until we recapture 12,000, things are ugly on NQ. Things will be ugly on ES on 39, unless 3915 is recaptured. Above 3915, we can hit 4,000, 3995. And if we fail, we'll hit 3,800. So there's no issue on both sides. 4,000, 3,800, 12,300, 11,650. That's my take. I still think we are going to be on a higher side on the NFP numbers, but more importantly, I want to see the average wage inflation. If average wage inflation is less, I can still accept a higher job number. All right, so that's what I wanted to discuss with you all. Any questions? I've shared the Zoom link. You can join in and raise your hands. I can try to open the mic for you and then you can share your views. Anybody who wants to discuss, anybody who wants to share their thoughts, you can like raise your hands in Zoom. Because I'm not covering any individual stocks tonight. I'm only talking about the indexes. So I have a Zoom user. Yep.
Hi, Naval. This is Karan. Uh, uh, this is like 3 days back. I apologize if my question might not be relevant, but you mentioned something about AMD, saying that AMD is pretty going strong. And I tried to look at the charts which you explained, the ADX, the positive, negatives. So can you, if you can just cover for knowledge perspective, not based on the stock itself, like how do you come to that conclusion? Like, you said like AMD is going really strong. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. If you can just revisit, because
Sure, I'll explain. Let's take one by one question. So AMD. So AMD was going strong based on the price action. Okay. Now, what was the price action? At that time, it was 81, 82, and I told, I think you were in the chat, that it's looking for 86, right? Uh, we like don't mute yourself unless like we are done. Unmuted you. So I think
okay, yeah, that's
you just asked me in the Telegram, right? That
yes, yes,
right. So from 81, see, first question or first thing to notice was, again, we are going off topic, but you asked me one thing. This is the bullish engulfing candle,
okay,
where the green candle has covered the red candle totally.
right,
Okay. ADX, you will see that from this point, it is on the rising slide. Slant.
okay, right,
The green line is already moving higher,
okay,
right? This gives me one positive check that yes, the momentum is strong. Second check is that this is a 78.6 Fibonacci. If
okay,
I hold it, I would target the 86 number, and that's why 86 number came from.
right,
Also, you
okay,
see 86 right here. We failed at 86 multiple times. Even
right,
today, we failed at 86. We did breach, but we could not hold that number.
got it.
Right. Jeet, I'm going to cover that. If you are going to be here, I'm going to cover Kiwi. So in this case, this was bullish engulfing, and usually bullish engulfing means a positive pattern.
Yep.
Plus, it was a test of this 81 area or back test right here, back test of 12 EMA. That confirms that yes, the stock is in a strong momentum and
Okay.
it will try to hit 86.
Got it. Yeah, thank you so much. The reason I asked is because if we could just apply the same concepts in the future trades as well. In
Yes,
that,
yes. And
yes,
that's the whole idea that, because again, like I may not be able to track all the stocks. You may
right,
not be able to track all the stocks. So if we have a community where people learn and see there's something like this, they can put that in the chat and then everybody can use that.
right, exactly.
Problem is nobody is interested to post anything. And that's, I don't like.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
No problems. So Jeet is asking about QE. So Jeet, QE is called as quantitative easing, where the central banks, like we have Fed here, they infuse money into the economy. So what they do is they will buy bonds and they will kind of provide trillions of dollars. Like Fed was adding $120 billion into the economy every month since pandemic. Okay, so it's kind of money which comes into the market. It doesn't come into the market directly, but it comes into the market indirectly. Now, once that money is available, just think like a simple example. Let's say a person A and a person B both have $100. Okay, if they trade in between, either A will have maximum 200 or B will have maximum 200. They cannot grow outside of that. Now, if there is an investor which are coming and they're pouring in money, like 100 here, 100 here, 100 here, then A can actually go to 500, B can also go to 500. So this is what the Fed quantitative easing does. It was introduced after the 2008 recession, where there was a lot of de-inflation into the market. The prices were really, really hard to get by. So Fed infused a lot of capital to get rid of the inflation. The same what is Bank of Japan doing currently. Bank of Japan is not struggling with inflation, but deflation. So they are trying to add more and more money into the market so that it's easier to buy, but it creates a fake asset valuation. Okay, that's one thing. Quantitative tempering is QT, where the central bank, which has issued this money, try to claim it back. So when they claim it back, the money which was given here, if they start to take it back, it will have to sell something to give the money back. So it can come back to 200 again, and we can also come back. So quantitative easing adds money to the market. Quantitative tempering removes money from the market. Then I have Neve.
Hey, Naval.
Okay.
I just joined your sessions like last week only, so I'm just relatively new to your meetings. But I had just one question. Where do you see the index finishing next Friday with the quadruple witching and the JPM collar?
I see JPM can also have a loss.
Wow.
It's not like that. Just today, they lost $52 billion in the market valuation. So don't go by the fact that it's going to remain there in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, what will be the CPI? I think it's going to be higher.
Actually, March is going up again compared to previous months.
Yes, rentals have gone up, which is the main deciding factor in the CPI. Food prices have gone up. Crude has gone up.
Non-service.
Yes. So if everything is going up, how can CPI can come down? If it comes down, that will be a massive positive surprise. But I don't think so. And if you go by the historical data, inflation doesn't go away in 6 months or 8 months. It does take its own course.
Right.
And Fed was late to recognize that, and now they are trying to increase the rate just that they can squeeze out the money. Because higher interest rates, there will be less money available to be consumed. Plus, they're also doing balance sheet reduction, so they're also squeezing out money from the. If there's less money, then there is less demand. Less demand will reduce the prices, because then there is supply still there. So if there's less demand, it will reduce the prices. If the prices will reduce, that will reduce the inflation. That is what Fed is expecting. How effective could be, I don't know. But as of now, they are failing, and they're failing really badly. They do not have any other provision than increasing the interest rates to hold on to the inflation. If inflation gets really, really mad, dollar is going to take a serious hit from it. So for me, CPI is really important. I will not even think about quad witching or something. Let's look at the CPI Tuesday morning and see how it goes from there.
And that follows the hike the next week, right? So
if CPI is high, we will see 50 basis points.
Wow. Okay. Well, thanks. So, but technically, just as you said, like you're seeing
See, market
yes,
has,
probably around 3,800 if it just continues with the momentum.
I'm seeing 3,800. If tomorrow numbers are high, we will see 3,800 tomorrow itself. I'm not even waiting for next week. We might have a 3 to 4% drop back to back. Like we have 2% drop today, we might have a 3% drop tomorrow. If the numbers are soft, we might have a 3% up move as well. So it's going to be a really, really big move both sides.
Thanks.
No problems. Yes, me see.
Hi, Naval. This is Meena.
Hi.
First of all, I am really thankful for this and really appreciate your time and energy you're putting into this.
Thank you.
So I just recently found you through Twitter. So I did look at a few of your previous YouTube videos. I have a few questions. I'm not sure how relevant they are for this call, but when you share the spreadsheet with the levels, I believe you do options. So I'm wondering what strikes, are those the strikes and stop losses for the options?
No. So let me give you an overview of how the sheet I use.
Sure.
This is the level which I consider. Like for example, Tesla. Okay. So today, if you see Tesla came into 184, 185 region. It opened at 180, came to 184, 185, hit 186. Right. So at that time, if you want to go short, you can buy any option this week, next week, depending on your choice. And you can look for a downside direction move, and your stop loss is 186. So when the price of Tesla hold above 186 for 15 minutes, then you can exit your option. In that case, I do not put a hard stop loss on option, but I tend to keep an eye on the level of the stock. If the stock level goes and sustains above the stop loss, I exit. And then based on your profit appetite, you can book on the downside moves.
Okay, I sorry, I don't fully understand. So what's like, do you do a credit spread? And then
I do everything. Like I do
Okay.
all the option strategies. But right now I'm using a cash account because I really did some overtrades in the 2 weeks back, and I lost about 20,000 on that. So
Okay.
I'm just doing cash account now. So I'm taking straight calls.
Okay. So do you, okay, so it's not like you have an options contract. You just buy the shares and then
No. I do the options. I do not do the stocks.
Okay.
Stocks I've stopped doing since 2000 something.
Okay.
I don't do stocks. I do only options. I take this level into consideration. So when the level of Tesla was 184, 85, I
Mhm.
would have gone into puts. Like
Okay.
today, if you look into my trade, I went into Nvidia puts,
Mhm.
and I also went into the coin puts.
Okay.
The coin puts I entered at 62 price, so I entered at the 61 strike at around 125, 130 area, and I booked at 225. They
Okay.
went on to make 4, but I was happy because I have defined my target. So once my target was hit, profit target, I was out from here.
And
Similar,
is it like 0 DTs and
I know
are you
I do
looking
only
at
this
any
week or next week.
deltas? Sorry, what was it?
I see Delta, Greeks, this and that. It's good for learning purpose, but in the practical market,
Yeah.
just ignore them.
Okay. And what about the expiry? What
I tend to take current week usually. So
okay.
uh, next week we have a really big event, so everything will be already high IV.
Mhm.
I don't want to pay anything additional at
Yeah.
this stage. If I have clarity, then I go next week.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
don't go more than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, I think those were my main questions. Thank you very much.
No problems. Uh, Anyone else, or anybody who wants to share their opinion on tomorrow's NFP, non-farmers payroll? Anybody wants to? So we have Ramaya.
So I have a question on NVIDIA.
Yeah.
NVIDIA. So you have actually put it on a bullish, positive, and then you took puts, right? So
Yes.
did you do it like as soon as it lost the 240?
I did that once it broke, once it was not able to sustain 242. So I actually, when I was in the lunchtime, I called up my group on Telegram and showed them that why I did that. So let me just show you why I did NVIDIA short. Come on, give me 1 second. So NVIDIA is 15 minutes. So this was NVIDIA for me in the 15-minute channel. So right here at around 10ish, I was looking at NVIDIA that yes, it was trying to hold this area of 242 and above, which I said I will be going long, but it failed after that. And it was holding the 12 EMA, which I use. I entered once I saw it losing the 12 EMA. So I entered around 242. So I saw it went down, and I even mentioned in the public Telegram channel as well, that you can hold a stop loss of your cost and let it go. It will run. And that put went from 2 all the way to 7. So my reason was it lost a 12 EMA on 15-minute candle or 15-minute time frame, and that's the reason I went down. Now my first rationale was 242 was not held, so I should look for a downside move. Also, I mentioned in the sheet, if this area is there or it hit, try to change the direction. And that's what I did. Anything else, Ramya?
Yeah, that explains it. Yeah, thank you. And um, do you see NVIDIA still being bullish tomorrow? Is there any levels that you would like to?
Whatever levels I'll draw now, it doesn't make sense because NFP is really, really going to override everything.
Got it. Okay.
That's why I'm only doing ES or NG levels.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
No
And
problem.
okay, so I have a question. So this is the first time that I'm like, in the market, like where like the SVB Financial Group going through this this kind of a stuff. So and I saw the stock at like 144 and it's now like 80, something like that.
Don't buy
So
it. Don't buy it. Don't even think about it.
okay. Okay. And even for shorting, it's not good.
See, shorting stocks at this price, what if the bank comes to save it? What if Fed comes to save it? What if government comes to save it? It will become 115 a matter of few minutes. And if you're
Okay.
short, you will regret your life. Why did you did that trade?
Okay. Okay.
So in
Okay.
these
Makes
things,
sense.
do
I'll
not
just
try.
stay away and watch. Yeah.
Yes, stay away and watch, learn from it.
Okay.
Next time
Sounds
you
good. Yeah.
see an opportunity, look for the stocks which are something similar. Like look for, like this was SVB, which is S&P Index Bank. Look for the similar situation. If something is dropping, the same companies in the same sector, go short there.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Because like I was there looking at 144, but then I was like it already was 50% down, so I didn't short. I didn't realize how bad it can go down.
See, people also have a habit that yes, stock has gone down to 52 level. Let me buy this,
Mm,
and they get stuck. If a stock is falling, it is falling for a reason. It's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
falling because it's in a mood to fall. There is a reason behind that, and once that reason is there, even if you buy it, it's not going to turn around immediately.
And would have effect on the other banks also, right? Like JP Morgan,
Yep,
Wells Fargo.
every bank will have a similar, because every bank has issued loans, has issued bonds. Now they are not getting that kind of mortgage, right? They need to have more mortgage so that they can make money out of the interest, and because they need to provide, like supposedly, I'll make it very simple. Supposedly you are JP Morgan Bank, okay,
Okay.
and I have deposited $1 million to you in my savings account. Now you need to give me a 4% rate of interest on that, right? Previously, I used, like as a JPM Bank, you used to give loans to somebody from the money which I deposited, and you used to take an interest of maybe 5%. So 1% difference, like you have to pay me 4%, you're raising 5%. So 1% is your income where you will cover the expenses, you will cover your profit and everything. Now, the
Correct.
number of mortgage applications have reduced remarkably. The bond prices have gone down substantially. Now, if JPM has to give money to the consumers, how would it raise the money? It has to sell those assets.
Okay.
The exact same story which happened with SVB, that they had to give back the money to the vendors, or not vendors, the consumers, and they could not find other way than to sell the stocks and sell the bonds.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. You would think that the banks would protect, their assets.
Banks are not supposed to protect their assets. Banks are supposed to protect consumers, and consumers have assets. So every bank has, like if you go by FDIC, every single consumer is protected for a 250,000 insurance.
Yeah.
Right. But if a bank fails on a scale like 205 billion, right, then it's a massive hit. It's not easy to fill in those numbers. It could be saved. It could actually trigger a very big issue, which everybody is ignoring for the last 15 years, because there was a regime of almost 0% interest from 2008 onwards until the last year.
Yeah.
Almost 14 years. So every bank may struggle with all of that. And JPM has already said that their loan growth is almost 50%. The car interest rates are above 10%. The home loans are above 7%. There's no demand. And there's no demand, then you can simply imagine what's going to happen to the banks.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. They have to figure out a way.
They should. They should. There will be some intervention. It's not like it happens overnight, but let's see step by step how things line up for SVB. Most likely they will be tackled by Fed or by the government. They will be handled it.
Okay. 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 Thanks for the guidance, and I will be on the sidelines and watch.
Yep. Being on cash is a really good position at this time.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, sounds good. And it all depends on the NFP tomorrow, like how the market is gonna either.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. Mr. Patel, yes, we can be in a worse situation than 2008. It is possible. And I've been saying that since last year, since December of 2021, I've been saying this, that slowly and steadily we are going into a mode where things will get ugly. So we came down from 4,800 all the way to 3,500, now 3,500 to 4,200. I think at this time, if we start to lose, we'll have newer lows, most likely, possibly. And yes, as you will see, Michael Burry's Twitter, we have Enron-like situation. So there can be things which can go really bad. Yes, Naive.
I had one more question. This is more technical analysis related. So you use a EMA crossover of 1234.
Yes.
Some do use 520, 821. So, I mean, I don't know what the significance is and like what works
It's
better.
really significant. It's really, really significant because you need to first get comfortable, have trust in these. For that, you need to start doing back testing. So if you start doing 5, if you start doing 20, you will have confidence. I've tried all of them, and I came to a point that 1234 works best for me after almost like 6 years of spending time on it.
Got it. Yeah,
So,
I've been trying 820. I mean, it's what you get used to. But again, I just had this question, like why people
you
use
get used to, but 1234 are almost like Fibonacci numbers.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that's the reason I prefer them.
Thank you.
No problems. Anyone else wants to share their views, discuss? I think Arvind was trying to join multiple times.
Yeah, Naval, Zarvan. So based on the SVB, right? I think this is as the loan books where they got into this mess because they bought that treasury bill last year and the yield went up, right? And now
it will
they
happen with almost every bank.
Yeah, exactly. So but if it's looking at big banks, what I want my observation is, in this case, most of the banks are going to get impacted for whoever parked their money in the treasury bills last year with that 1.5 to 2 yield, which is right now it's gone up. But big banks do have that buffer because they have other securities to play with, right? But my more take on
how
this
long? But for how long?
Correct.
Interest
You're
rates
right.
are going to sustain in the economy. And maybe let's imagine 2024. Can
No,
big banks sustain that? No.
Correct. So the bigger question is how Fed would treat this hike, even though if the inflation numbers are, again, everybody knows the inflation numbers are not going to be bad. It will be interesting to see how Fed is going to handle the situation on the 0.25 hike.
If I can get that kind of salary, I can think about that. It's going to be really, really difficult.
No, it's going to be difficult because if the
and that's why if you see Joe Manchin, who stuck against that infrastructure or something like $2 trillion thing, he stopped Congress to approve that. If we had more money, things would have gone really, really berserk.
Okay. Because I know the SVB, and I worked with them before, right? Most of the startups have the account there.
Yes, all the way, because they are like kind of venture, they provide loans to the venture capitalists, right? And they take the money and then buy the treasury bonds and then earn from the yields.
Correct. So they parked almost $70 billion in the treasury bonds, and then now they had to sell it to raise money because the deposits went down. Yes, that's a big mess.
See, deposits will also go down because of inflation. Deposits will also go down because the liquidity is getting tighter and tighter.
Correct.
So it's kind of a double whammy sword. Or like, see, one thing which I feel is people are saying there's not going to be a recession. We are in recession. People are not ready to accept it. The point is,
yeah, people are not ready to accept it. That's all.
Yes. Point is, other reserve banks, other central banks, they are pouring so much money that, see, imagine if in October when we hit 3,500, if Bank of Japan and start like in December, Bank of China, if they have not put $1 trillion into their economies, we would not be here. We would be struggling around 3,500.
Correct.
But every time that free money
But
comes,
they are not going to do that every time now.
they are not going to do it, but they have done it. So that
Correct.
money is there in the system. And the bank tapering is happening, but how much it can conceal or offset the money from ECB and from Bank of Japan and from, like, I posted one chart yesterday in my channel. Let me open that 1 second. That gives a very clear picture of what, see, this was the cumulative reserves from 2009. Look here. Fed is bringing down its balance sheet. ECB is still holding that. Bank of Japan has increased. Bank of China has increased. And they want to increase, they want to sustain. So if they are adding this kind of liquidity from 2023 onwards, right? You see right here, the Bank of Japan, let me just choose the annotations. The Bank of Japan was right here, and then they started to add here.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is more. Same thing was happening with ECB, they are adding more. And this is 2023. And if you see on Fed side, they are reducing it.
Correct.
They went higher and sustained it. They went higher and sustained it. But Fed is reducing its balance sheet. But the amount of money which is coming from these three things is humongous. And that's the reason we went up, ignoring every fundamental, every economic data. See, we had inflation going up to 9%, right?
Mhm.
America cannot sustain 9% inflation. So tomorrow's numbers are going to be really important to
No,
see.
yeah, it was 19, around 97, 98, it was about 8 to 9%.
Yes, but at that time there was, how would I say? I'll answer you later on this.
Okay.
I don't want to make a proper statement, and then I'll give you the details. I'll ping you on this. Because in 70s, also 75 to 81, the inflation was in double digits.
Correct. That was double digits, yes.
But it was a really bad time for America. And then they had to get rid of the gold reserves against the dollar. And since then, they're just printing dollars and putting into their ledgers. Okay. Anything else you want to add here?
No, that's all. I just wanted to see how this time, this March, the 0.25, are still they going to stick to it? But are they, I think from my observation, that may probably this is going, the 0.25 is going to go longer towards the end of the year. I don't think with this situation with this SVB and other banks in the air, I think they cannot afford to increase to 0.5.
It depends. Maybe like with this thing, they may not do 0.5. They may only stick to 0.25.
Got it.
But let's see how things come up.
But on the financials, it's going to be bad this quarter then.
See, financial are the main crux. Nobody thinks, like, supposedly if Apple goes down or if Microsoft goes down, it will not have any impact because there are only few people who are related to Apple or Amazon.
Correct.
Imagine JP Morgan going down. It's going to destroy everything. They have $3.6 trillion of assets.
Correct.
Everybody interacts with the bank. Right? They put their money, their savings into that. If that goes down or any of the big banks get a hit, it will create panic. That's what I'm saying. SVB is not a small bank. It's an index bank, a part of S&P. So we should not underestimate the impact of it. But yes, it can be handled well by the Federal Reserve and by the government. they may come out for a bailout for that bank. Possibly. It's not a big number for the government.
Correct.
Okay.
So do you see sector rotation at this point?
At this time, like tech will be the strong, and that's why Apple and Microsoft are behaving. Everybody's upgrading them for no reason. But if everything goes down, then tech will also go down.
True, but the money has to flow somewhere, right? So in that case,
So money will vanish, and that's the problem. Money will vanish from the system.
but whatever money is left, right? So
See,
would that
they
be rotation
need to
into
squeeze out almost $4 trillion from the economy. Squeeze out. So that money, wherever it was, needs to come out from somewhere. See,
exactly
these industrials, these banks, they can fall up to a certain level. After that, they'll not fall. Because they did not rise up to like 5, 10 times. Look at Apple. Apple is almost 20 times than it was in what do you call 2016, 2017.
Got it.
So the money is in these companies. So they're going to sustain. They will say, oh, Apple is the next thing or that. What Apple does is only sell the phones. Again, that's my perspective. Like,
Sure. All right. Thanks now. Bye.
okay, Raghu.
Hi, Naval. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Naval, on the Jeremy Powell's testimony last 2 days. So he told like currently the unemployment rate is around 3.4 or 3.5. You want to get that one to the 4.5. So that might accumulate another 2 million job loss.
Yes, that's 2 million people. But if we have higher payrolls tomorrow, then losses are not there.
Mm-hmm. So like 2 million job loss in the sense like then each companies will that will trigger to companies to cut down again the job loss, second round or third round.
Yes, they will do that.
Okay. Thank you. And next,
one second. Tarun, SIVB is not a small player. It's a very big player. It has more than $250 billion assets. You cannot call it as a small player. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. On the NFP for tomorrow, like it will like about 225 will be a bad for market. So
but
if it is between,
you need to also consider average wage inflation. If average wage inflation is less, then even the higher number market will get a thumb down.
Okay.
But if average wage inflation is higher and the number is low, market will not like it.
Okay. What if it is between 205 to 225?
Market will like it.
Market will like it. Okay. Then how did you like just something like how did you think about 225? 225
if you go back and look at the average, it was around 225. If you look here, 200, 250, that's the average. If you go back to the normal periods, you will find the same numbers. Ignoring the Corona period 2021, if you go back and you will see, you will get those numbers.
Okay.
The normal ones. Like in the Corona, you will see 20 million jobs were lost in May of 2020.
Okay.
So just look at the data at the.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. We have GP.
No, I have a quick question on your.
You're not audible, GP. Can you speak clean near to the mic?
All right. Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to check with you on this regression channel you set up. Does it work on the intraday setup on the smaller time windows? and how well it was
See,
tested?
small time windows, it may not be fruitful. I have tested this on a daily time frame and a weekly time frame. It works really well on the weekly time frame, but the levels and the resistance it creates, they are valid for an intraday level as well. So I will not create the regression channel on an intraday level. The intent of the regression channel is to find a trend, find a channel where the price will move. So intraday price or the external hours price, pre-market price, it is not relevant. And that's why when I recommend people to draw charts, get rid of the external hours from your charts. You will have much better levels, much cleaner charts.
Got it.
Okay.
Sure. And maybe next session, if you can share like what you're kind of using during the intraday session, let's say to.
I've done videos for that. If you want to spend 15-20 minutes, you can go to my YouTube channel, and in the learning section, I've shared the entire strategy in detail. Or next time when I'm like live, I can, because it will make only sense when I can show you when it is happening live. Rather
Sure,
than,
I can, yes, I can go back actually. Is there anything and any place where to easily find those videos? Like,
yes, it's a
have you?
learning playlist in my YouTube channel.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problems. Nisi, you wanted to speak something?
Yeah, actually, my question was on the Fibonacci retracement you have drawn here. So for what's more important to do it with a recent time frame, like you, I think you're going back to 1/9 versus like maybe go back to December, since then we have been in an upswing. So
It's not straightforward. It's not straightforward.
Okay. But like, what do most traders do? Do they look at a more recent swing?
Most traders do is they look at the recent high and low.
Okay.
I don't look into those high and low. I have a different way of doing it, and that way actually really works. The levels, Fibonacci levels, or the regression channel levels which comes out of that, they're really good. I will do a session on doing this regression channel and how to set up these things. I have done one session in the past. There is recording for that, but there are many people who have asked me to do this. So probably in 2-3 weeks, I'll do a session, and then you can like join that and see how I define that, because it takes a little bit of time to explain the rationale behind it.
Okay. Thank you.
No problems. All right, guys, it's already 1 hour. Let's see how the market opens with NFP tomorrow. I do not have a single position with me. I'm not carrying anything. So tomorrow will be a clean start for me. Let's see how things go from there. All right. Have a good night, and I'll see you Sunday evening. Bye-bye. Take care.